Meow meow. Man, I hope that the internet is stable right now. That the streaming PC doesn't get disconnected. Uh, well, what I wanna say is, the internet is stable. The connection is stable. But like a few days ago, the stream got cut and the PC couldn't reconnect. I mean, it's already wired. It's a wired connection through LAN cable. But somehow it couldn't reconnect. Like I physically unplugged and unplugged it back in, but it didn't work. So I had to restart the PC. Yeah. And I kinda um, I've been observing that every time I turn the streaming PC on, I really have to unplug and plug back in the video capture card. I don't know why. It shouldn't be like that. And I actually wanna flex my new streaming PC motherboard. Which, I've been using an old motherboard back in, when was it? December, January, February, March, April. So like 5 months, 4 or 5 months. So it's a big change. I'm no longer using a PCI expansion card for the USB 3.0 because my older motherboard didn't have a USB 3.0. Now I don't know how many of you understand what I'm saying. I have a habit of assuming that everybody knows everything I know. It's like, I don't know. It's like I always assume that everyone else knows everything that I know. Maybe it's because of my upbringing. Anyway, since I have the wood elves now,
yours to command.
What is this? Spell Slinger. So the Spell Slinger and the elves, they're the ones who cannot be deployed. They don't have Vanguard deployment. I love these guys. They can fire while moving. And then they don't have to be... they have what do you call that? They have a circle aim 360 instead of the angle or fixed angle. Okay. Oh wow. The big ones, of course, cannot. They cannot climb walls.
Battle ready. Orders. Scale the wall. Charge.
There you go. We're already firing. Around these guys can fire while moving.
Children of Athel Lauren! Our bows are yours! At pace! Eager and ready!
And for the... what do you call this? No, for my 3 units, I give them the specialty of armor. So what I want is the archers to do the damage while my melee infantry tank. 310. It's the big guy. Okay, now I want my archers on the wall.
Fear the deep wood! Bowman ready! At speed! Defenders of Athel Lauren! For the eternal realm! To battle! Straight away!
I'm gonna run out of ammo.
Let fly! Hold! Quickly! It shall be
So
done!
I'm gonna have to change my plan.
Awaiting orders! Archers ready! Full protector!
Yeah, there's a breath of fresh air, from gunpowder units. Uh, yeah, pun intended. I mean, wood elves, nature boys.
Ready to serve. Back to your mark. Yours to command. Brace for impact.
No, these guys aren't taking any casualties. They don't even look like they're taking any damage.
Fear the deep wood. Deep wood mage.
I mean, damn, do these guys like have regeneration? Wow, check out the range of my bowmen, my archers.
Eternal guard. At pace. Ready for battle. Now.
I kinda wanna play as the
Swiftly.
high elves. It freaking reminds me of Lord of the Rings.
Eternal guard. Asray mage.
It's literally plants versus zombies.
We never miss.
Bro, yeah, you guys miss all the time. Yeah, when the enemy is running away, the arrows always fall short. It's like they aim where the enemy was instead of where the enemy is going. So, they miss. Looks like Christmas in here. Red and green. So, I think these guys, these trees, we didn't take any casualty. Didn't take any damage, even, I think. Uh, they don't look like they took any damage. Freaking. Let's listen to stuff.
Location, I kinda suck. The initial war against Bretonnia isn't too bad, but the lack of suitable climate makes expansion very hard. My best advice is actually to just leave and flee to either Ulthuan if you want to get to work against Altharin, or through the mountains to the Badlands if you want to confederate the other Greenskins. Either way, you want to build up your army.
Traveling abroad? Stay connected in over 140 countries with Big Sky Travel Wi-Fi. 5-star customer rating. Stay connected wherever you go. Book now.
The High Elves are well known for being one of the easiest campaigns in the game, and this extends to their roster in battle. They are loaded with excellent units and have a little bit of everything to give you a taste of every playstyle. By far their strongest area is ranged, but they also have great front lines, monsters, and cav, so really can do it all. First, let's go through the pros and cons of the roster overall. As I just mentioned, they have a strong selection of units in most categories, so can build a variety of armies which are all viable. They have one of the best ranged rosters in the game, with excellent choices from the early game right up until the end. And they also have quite a selection of magical...
Okay, so how's the stream going? Let me just check.
selection of units in most categories, so can build a variety of armies which are all...
Sometimes I feel like, you know, when I'm monitoring the stream PC, it's like I'm not really satisfied with the frame rate to do the damage while my I don't know, it kinda looks laggy to me. I mean, all the time. I mean, when you see it like lagging, yeah, it's because, you know, my PC is having a hard time playing, especially with all of those characters, all of those units. So it is actually lagging at times. I wonder if no, I don't think I have like long range siege weapons. I don't think wood elves have that.
Laws on both their lords and heroes. As for the cons, the great selection in every category can cause you to want to use good units from every category, and have an army comp with too much control at once. Most of their powerful ranged units also aren't the greatest in melee, so if you get flanked, it can be pretty devastating to your damage output. And strangely, they are also vulnerable to enemy range, with a lot of their later units lacking any defense outside of armor, so shutting down enemy missile units should be a priority. Just before we get into the roster, the High Elves also have a battle ability of sorts. This is called Martial Prowess. It's pretty simple, but almost every unit in the roster has the ability, which basically means that their melee stats are improved when they're above 25% HP. All this means is your army performs much better with healthier units, so keep your units healthy for much easier battles. Now we come to the roster. First of all we have the Lords, and first up we have Tyrion. He's armoured and deals armour-piercing damage, he's a melee expert as well as a duelist. Tyrion is an excellent frontlines lord right out the gate. He's super tough and deals a ton of damage, so works well on the front lines versus basically anything, as well as being great in duels with his melee stats. There's not many front lines he can't do well in, just look out for him being surrounded by high armour-piercing damage, and he should do great. He also has access to one mount, Malhandir. He gains speed and charge bonus to become a powerful charging lord as well as a melee powerhouse. Just be even more careful about letting him get isolated and or focused by ranged, since he is a bit of a large target. Next up we have Teclis, and he is pretty much just a pure spellcaster with his weird mix of laws. Teclis is the polar opposite of his brother Tyrion. He is a pure spellcaster. His melee stats are pitiful and his survivability and damage are pathetic, so keep him out of combat at all costs unless the battle is already lost and you want to deal a bit of extra damage before you go. Keep him on the backlines and casting with his weird mix to deal damage, buff and debuff his way to victory. He also has access to a couple of mounts. The Barded Ithilmar Steed makes him faster and a little tougher, but still keep him out of combat. Just use the speed to run away and cast spells wherever needed. And the Arcane Phoenix. This makes him even faster and tougher, as well as providing some actual damage, and of course, flight. Now you can finally send him in to do some
This is a very pretty bird.
damage with the armor-piercing magical and fire attacks. Just don't send him in too deep, otherwise he can be easily pinned down and isolated. Next we have Alariel the Radiant, and she's another pretty much pure spellcaster with a mix of life, high and light magic. She's a little bit better than Teclis if you really need it fighting, but she should be avoiding it at all costs and focusing on providing spell support wherever needed.
Hello, Uncle Cat. Hello.
She also has access to a couple of mounts. The Barded Ithilmar Steed.
Rooftop.
You know, there's an anime event, otaku event on Saturday, but I don't think I'm going. And there's a bar concert on the 1st. I kinda wanna go to the bar concert on the 1st of May.
Chill, pero walang init. Posible at sakto kasi mayroong buy one take one sunshade net sa Lazada. Sobrang mura na kaya go, i-check out mo na. I finally got the rooftop chill moment kahit mainit. Buti na nakita ko tong sunshade sa Lazada na buy one take one pa. Sobrang dali niya lang i-set up. And may kasama na rin naman siyang tali. Para sa murang halaga, magandang quality niya, and nagagawa niya naman talaga yung purpose niya. Pwede rin siya sa garden, sa balcony, sa carport, at sa iba pa. Nasubukan din namin na mahangin pero nag-hold pa rin siya. Hindi lang ako yung nakasilong kundi yung dog din namin, kaya masasabi kong it's a good fight. Sino magkakala na i-scored this on its lowest price with last flash? Thank you talaga sa Lazada subsidies. Kaya kung ako sa'yo, click the link to get yours and shop now.
And the Great Eagle. This makes her into a flying beast with a little more damage, but still not great stats and pretty poor armor piercing. Mainly use it to get around and cast where needed, and then go in for light combat versus less armoured back lines. Next up we have Lifnar. He deals armour-piercing missile damage, has great range, and comes with Vanguard deployments. He's a powerful skirmishing lord that wants to flank around with other skirmishers to deal damage from an unexpected location. He deals massive range damage, so focus fire onto high armor targets to make the most of it. He can do okay melee with decent stats, but his damage lacks a lot of armor piercing, so stick to ranged until he runs out of ammo to...
Okay, right now I'm gonna change my meta. So I got these 3 kin for armor. I'm gonna make the let's see, armor piercing damage there. For these also armor piercing. The thing is, if you can see here, so my 3 kin, they're like 1/3 of my army. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Less than 30% maybe. Oh wait. No, that's exactly 30%. But if the majority of my army, the dryads and the bowmen, and this elf infantry, if they falter, there's a very big chance that I will lose those battles. But I like the dynamics. Sometimes I don't really play to win, I play for fun. Right now, I'm having fun fighting the vampires because I hate vampires.
To maximise the DPS. Next up we have Eltharion the Grim, and he's an armoured spellcaster with access to the Law of High Magic. He's a frontlines tank with great survivability and okay damage, but not super armour piercing. He also has his spellbook to give him an extra boost to make up for his lack of damage. Get him into the front lines versus low armour troops, and keep him casting to support your army. Keep him out of high armour piercing clumps, and he should be just fine. He also has access to a couple of mounts, the Barded Ithilmar Steed and Stormwing, which drops some melee stats to become a flying beast with a ton of armor-piercing damage and charge bonus. This makes him into a monstrous frontlines force with a ton of damage, just don't let him get surrounded and focused with the new, larger hitbox. And our final legendary lord is Imrik. He has Dragon Armor, which is fire resistance, as well as armor piercing anti-large damage, and Martial Mastery, which means he gets melee buffs when at high HP. He's a great frontlines lord with a ton of armor piercing damage, and melee attacks. He also has the bonus versus large, so will do extra good versus monsters and cav, so target any of those that you can. The only thing he needs to look out for is being surrounded by high armor piercing. Avoid that, and he's all good. He also has access to a couple of mounts. Artirius is pretty much just a better steed, so makes him much faster and gains a ton of charge bonus. And Menethe, which sees him become a giant dragon unit with a ton of attack and damage, as well as a massive hitbox. Get him into the front lines, just look out for melee and range focus, since he is so large. Next up we have Alistair the White Lion. He's armoured, deals armor piercing damage, and is a melee expert.
Yeah.
As well as having a lion cloak, which grants him missile resistance. He's a decent frontlines lord with great stats across the board. Stick him into combat versus pretty much anything on the front lines, and he'll do a good job. Just don't let him get in too deep alone, as his defense will eventually let him down versus high enough damage. He also comes with a few mounts. The Great Eagle, the Lion Chariot of Krace, which makes him into a great charging lord, as all chariots do. If you can handle the micro, the damage potential is great, but if not, you should avoid this, as he can easily go down if left in combat. The Sun Dragon, which sees him become a massive Sun Dragon monster, so has a ton of damage and speed as well as flight. Get him into the front lines or back, whichever needs the most support, and watch out for ranged and melee spots, as he's a massive target. And the Star Dragon, which is pretty similar to the Sun Dragon but gains more damage and a little less speed. Next we have the Archmages, and these are pure spellcasters with access to the lore of beasts, fire, shadows, life, metal, death, light, high magic, or heavens. These are pretty much pure spellcasters with weak stats for everything else. Keep them on the backline safe and casting, and that's all there is to it. They also have access to 4 mounts: the Barded Ithilmar Steed, the Ithilmar Chariot, the Great Eagle, and the Moon Dragon. Next up we have the Princes. These are armoured and shielded and melee experts. These are basic frontlines lords, more focused on being alive than dealing a lot of damage. They have decent armor and melee stats, but their damage is a bit lacking in the armor piercing department. Get them onto a front line against low armor targets to keep your troops encouraged and deal a bit of damage here and there. Avoid high armor piercing damage, and they should be just fine. They also have access to 5 mounts: the Barded Ithilmar Steed, the Great Eagle, the Griffin, which makes them a little slower than the Eagles, but they deal a lot more armor piercing damage, so can do well on the front lines or back, and the Sun Dragon or Star Dragon. And finally we have the Princesses. These deal anti-infantry damage and are melee experts. They lose some armor and defense from princes and gain speed, attack, and ranged. This means you want to keep them on the back lines to make full use of their ammo before you send them into the front lines. None of their damage is super armor piercing, so focus on high HP, low armor targets to make the most of their damage. And they also come with 5 mounts: the Barded Ithilmar Steed, the Great Eagle, the Griffin, the Moon Dragon, and the Star Dragon. Next up we have the heroes. First up we have the Handmaidens, and they deal anti-large damage, have charged defense versus large, and are equipped with Bows of Avalon, which deal magical, fire, and armor-piercing missiles. These are pretty similar to princesses, but have worse stats, but better armor-piercing damage, as well as magical and flaming missiles. Keep them safe at the back and fire on the highest value targets you can find, since nothing can stop their damage outside of a beefy shield. Keep them out of melee unless you have no other choice, and then find something large to make the most of their bonus damage. They also have access to 1 mount: the Barded Ithilmar Steed. Next up we have the Nobles. These are armoured and deal armor-piercing anti-large damage, as well as having charge defense against large. These are single-target assassins with high armor-piercing damage and anti-large bonus. Send them to fight other lords and heroes one-on-one to make the most of their high armor and damage. Keep them safe from being surrounded, as they can still quickly fall if overwhelmed by high armor piercing. They also have 3 mounts: the Barded Ithilmar Steed, the Great Eagle, and the Ithilmar Chariot. The Lawmasters of Hoeth are next, and these are spellcasters, armoured, deal armor-piercing anti-infantry damage. For their spells, they have a mix from a whole bunch of laws, and these are excellent frontlines heroes with decent melee stats alongside excellent armor and armor-piercing damage. They can also use their spellbook to assist their army wherever needed. Just get them into the front lines, centrally in your army, to keep them available for spell support. Don't let them get too deep into enemy lines, as their defense quickly runs out when surrounded. And finally we have the mages. These are spellcasters with access to the lore of heavens, shadows, beasts, death, fire, metal, high magic, life, or light. Literally just archmages, but smaller with less HP and leadership. Use them the same, keep them at the back and safe, avoid melee at all costs. And finally they also have access to 2 mounts: the Barded Ithilmar Steed and the Ithilmar Chariot. And the Mage of Fire can get access to a Sun Dragon. Now we come to the melee infantry. First up we have the Spearmen, and these are a tier 1 unit. These are shielded, deal anti-large damage, and have charged defense versus large. These are your basic early game line.
No man, you know what, in fact, I've never played any Resident Evil games. I've never played those. Maybe it's because, you know, they're not on Steam. Are they on Steam?
Holder. They have decent armor, defense, and a silver shield, so they're actually pretty tough to take out. Their attack is pretty weak, and their damage is pretty mid, so they aren't going to take out anything that isn't super weak. They want to hold the line and be supported by other...
That's pretty expensive for me. That's pretty expensive for me. 3,000 pesos. That's like 60 US dollars. Or 50 US dollars.
Units like ranged and cav to do the real damage. Pretty much just set 'em and forget 'em and focus on dealing damage with your other troops. Next we have the Rangers. These are another tier 1 unit, deal anti-infantry damage, have Forest Strider, and Dodge, which is physical resistance. These are a little more damage focused than the Spearmen, with a bit more attack, damage, and a bonus versus infantry. You still want to support them to take out whatever they're fighting as soon as possible, since otherwise they'll take a ton of damage. Use them pretty much the same, but just be extra careful to keep them supported. The White Lines of Crazy next, and these are a tier 2 unit. They're armoured, deal armour-piercing damage, have the Lion Cloak, and Forest Strider. These are a high damage front lines unit with a ton of armour-piercing damage and a decent bit of armour. They lack a ton of defense, so still end up being a little squishy, so support them however you can. Not much more to them than that, just use them the same as your standard front lines unit. Next we have the Silvering Guard. These are a tier 3 unit, come with enchanted armour, which grants some spell resistance, are armoured and shielded, and have anti-large damage and charge defense versus large. These are pretty much just improved spearmen, and they have improvements to basically every stat, so they'll perform the same job but just a lot better to survive in their later stage of the game. Use them pretty much the same and have them hold the line and keep them well supported with whatever you can to get the job done to deal all the real damage for them. Next up we have Phoenix Guard, and this is a tier 3 unit. They're armoured, deal armour-piercing anti-large damage, and come with charge defense versus all. They also have Martial Mastery. These trade a little survivability for a lot more damage, since they drop the shields and some defense, but gain a chunk of attack and some armor-piercing damage. This makes them great front lines, both holders and damage dealers, as they have very tough armor, but also great damage. Still use them the same as any front lines unit to keep them alive and get rid of enemies as soon as possible. Hold that line and give them plenty of support to deal all the damage, and get rid of enemies as soon as possible. Focus on any large targets you can to make most of their bonus damage, and be sure to...
Yeah, well, I wish I could afford it at the moment.
Get rid of ranged units before they move up, otherwise they can get a little bit picked apart with their lack of missile defense. And finally we have the Sword Masters of Hearth. These are a tier 3 unit, are armoured, deal armour-piercing anti-infantry damage, can deflect shots without a shield, and have Martial Mastery. These are the anti-infantry endgame front lines of the High Elves, and are kind of a lateral move from Phoenix Guard. They're a little less tough in melee with less armor and defense, but can deflect shots so are tougher versus ranged. They can also deal a little more damage with their higher attack and anti-infantry bonus. Use them to focus down infantry threats on the enemy lines and still keep them supported and alive. Next we have the ranged infantry. First up we have the Archers. These are a tier 1 unit and have great range. These are your standard early game ranged units. Their high range makes it so enemies have to come to you, and getting that advantage early on is great. Their damage isn't amazing, but if you...
No. I wonder when that happens. I hope that the stream didn't get caught.
focus fire on the lower armor at their stage of the game, it can quickly add up, fire on enemies as they approach, and then move to get an angle once the lines clash to keep up the damage and keep our unit safe. We also have light armor archers. These are a tier 1 unit and also have great range. Literally just the same, but gain some armor and defense. Use them the exact same, just enjoy them being a little bit tougher. Next up we have Lord and Sea Guard. These are a tier 2 unit, with an anti-large bonus in melee.
Based on the games you play? Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for recommending though. Those sound like fun.
And charge defense versus large. These have a little less range and ammo than archers, but gain some melee survivability, meaning they can hold their own if caught in combat. If you're confident you can keep them safe from range, then stick with archers, but if you want a doom stack in the mid game, then these are a great pick, since they will deal fine range damage and keep themselves safe at the same time. Still, don't send them into melee if you can help it, as range is still their main and safest form of damage. They also come in another variation, the shielded Lord and Sea Guard. These are another tier 2 unit, and just gain shields. Literally the same unit, but they gain shields, some more defense, and a little less speed. Use them the exact same, now they're just a little bit tougher versus ranged. Next up we have Shadow Warriors. These are a tier 2 unit, have good range, vanguard deployment, stalk, and master ambusher. These are more of a skirmishing ambush unit, so will instead be sneaking around enemy backs to fire from an unexpected angle rather than sitting on your back lines. Stick them on skirmish and send them to fire on whatever needs shooting. Their damage isn't out of this world, but since they do it on the move while keeping themselves safe, it's not the end of the world. Be careful of anything faster than enemy force, as skirmishing quickly becomes useless if they get ran down by some cav. We also have Shadow Walkers. These are a tier 3 unit, have good range, vanguard deployments and stalk, as well as master ambusher. These are a bit of a weird upgrade from Shadow Warriors since they drop 20 entities but gain improvements to almost every stat and gain poison damage. Use them pretty much the same, just now they'll do a little bit better in melee and from a range. Spread that poison damage across as many units as you can to keep the debuffs up and make the job of the enemy as hard as possible. They'll fare a tiny bit better in melee, but avoid it until they're out of ammo to make the most of them. And finally we have the Sisters of Avalon. These are a tier 3 unit, have armor piercing missiles, good range, a decent melee combatant, and come with the Bows of Avalon. These are one of the most overpowered units in the game. Their missiles deal massive damage to pretty much anything with the armor piercing piercing, magical, and fire. Add on their huge range and passable melee stats, and you have a super strong unit. Use them to pick apart pretty much anything from half the map away, or focus on key targets as they approach. Keep them out of combat whenever you can, as their range damage is massive, so want to be used up before even thinking about melee. Next up we have the Cav. First up we have Lyrian Reavers. These are a tier 1 unit, very fast, and come with Vanguard deployment. These are a decent early Cav with okay charge bonus and high speed. Their melee stats are pretty weak, so they want to avoid sustained combat whenever possible, and instead focus on cycle charging to deal damage whilst keeping themselves safe. Keep them on the move and take out ranged units first before coming to hammer and anvil the front lines. Whatever you do, just keep them out of sustained combat versus pretty much anything that can put up a fight. Next up we have Silver Helms. These are a tier 2 unit, are armoured and deal anti-infantry damage.
Hi guys, so welcome to our home.
These see massive improvements to nearly every stat over Reavers, only losing some speed and defense. Use them pretty much the same, focusing even more on cycle.
What? Why does it keep on buffering like that?
Charging to make the most of their improved charge. Not much else to say, they work the exact same but do a bit more damage. They also come in another variation, Shielded Silver Helms. These are a tier 3 unit and are the exact same as the base unit but gain a shield and a little bit of defense. You can still use them pretty much exactly the same. Next we have Athilmar Chariots. These are a tier 3 unit, are armoured and deal anti-infantry damage. Like any other chariot, they require a ton of micro to use, so keep them on the move at all times, charging in and out of enemy lines to make the most of their insane charge bonus. Do not let them get bogged down in combat at any point, as their large hitboxes and low defense will spell a quick death. Keep them moving first, tearing apart the backline, and then moving on to the front. They're pretty fast, so you only have to worry about them getting pinned down by the quickest cavern monsters, so as long as they keep moving, they should be safe. We also have Line Chariots of Krace. These are a tier 3 unit, are armoured, deal armor-piercing anti-infantry damage, and have line pelts. These work pretty much the exact same as the Athilmar Chariots. They have less armor and defense, but gain HP, speed, attack, and a ton of armor-piercing damage en masse. And finally we have the Dragon Princes. These are a tier 3 unit, come with dragon armor, are armored and shielded, and have martial mastery. These are the endgame shot cav of the High Elves. They gain improvements to everything but speed and defense over shielded Silver Helms, so do the exact same job but even better. Their charge is devastating, so keep them cycle charging at all times to make the most of their massive bonus damage. Avoid sustained combat whenever possible to avoid them taking too much. Do all this and they'll do fantastic work. Next up we have the Missile Cavern Chariots. First up we have the Illyrian Reaver Archers. These are a tier 2 unit and are very fast, come with Vanguard deployment and can fire whilst moving. These drop a bit of HP, defense and charge bonus from the non-archers to gain all of their missile strength. This makes them into a skirmishing range cav that wants to kite enemies and attack from an undefended location to make the most of their speed and firing on the move. The only thing they need to worry about is being caught in melee by something faster like some warhounds. As long as they keep in relatively safe locations and on the move, they should be just fine. Avoid melee until they're out of ammo and then use them for some very light charging if you need to, but avoid leaving them fighting basically anything. And our other missile chariot unit is the Tyrannok Chariots. These are another tier 2 unit, come with Reaver bows which fire 3 magical arrows at once, deal anti-infantry damage and can fire whilst moving. These drop quite a few stats from the Athilmar Chariots but can still be used the same, but now with some added ranged firepower as they charge around. Keep them moving, ranged and through enemies to make the most of their charge bonus and avoid them getting pinned down in combat. They'll perform about the same with the reduced melee damage but added range, so take whichever you prefer. Next up we come to the monsters and beasts. First up we have the Great Eagle. This is a tier 2 unit and is very fast. This is your basic mid-game flying monster with not a ton of damage, especially armor piercing, but great speed. This makes it a great choice for taking out ranged units with less armor, so send 1 or 2 of them in to do this, and keep the rest of your army safe. Avoid getting them into combat with anything with too much damage of its own, as their low armor and defense can quickly spell doom if they get surrounded. Charge them in, deal some damage to weak units, and then get them out before help arrives. Next up we have the War Lines of Krace. These are a tier 3 unit, deal anti-infantry, armor piercing damage, and have line pelts. These are basically a late game Warhound unit with pretty respectable armor piercing damage. Use them to rip apart backlines with their high speed and damage. Avoid getting them into combat versus anything that can put up a fight, as the low armor and defense are a pretty good combo for getting destroyed. If all the ranged is gone, then use them to charge into the back of enemy front lines, already looking weak to finish the job, and make sure they don't come back. Next up we have the Flamespire Phoenix. This is a tier 3 unit, deals armor piercing damage, have Rebirth which gives them a 50% chance to gain 25% HP back or die instantly upon dropping below 10% HP. They're attuned to magic, which grants them magical attacks and 10% ward save, and have the Death from Above Wake of Fire ability. This is more or less a direct upgrade to the Eagle with improvements to most stats, including their armor piercing damage and speed. This makes them super quick and devastating when they arrive in combat. They still have poor armor and defense, so still need to be careful what they stay fighting. Use their Wake of Fire to bombard enemy lines before turning their attention to the back lines. Don't get them into combat versus anything that can fight, at least not alone, and they should do well. We also have the Frostheart Phoenix. This is a tier 3 unit, is armoured, deals armour piercing damage, has a magical blizzard aura, and is attuned to magic. These are pretty much just the Flame Spires, but swap some abilities and stats around. They're a little bit slower, have less attack and charge bonus, but everything else improves. If you want a Phoenix with more sustained combat, this is a great choice with the improved defense. Otherwise, the Flame Spire ability is much preferred. And our final Phoenix is the Arcane Phoenix. This is a tier 3 unit, deals armor piercing damage, has rebirth, is attuned to magic, and has the Death from Above Ember Storm ability. This is kind of the best of both worlds since it has a powerful ability that can deal massive damage with little risk to itself, whilst also being a competent battling monster. This should be the go-to Phoenix since it really can do it all. Use it the same to focus large clumps with its ability, before targeting backlines and then finally coming back to the front lines once it runs out of targets. Next up we have the Sun Dragon. This is a tier 3 unit, has the Sun Dragon's Breath ability, deals armor piercing damage, causes terror, and has Scaly Skin, which is missile resistance. This is a much larger and slower beast than any of the Phoenixes, so is more suited to the front lines with the massive area attack damage it can do. Use it to assist your front lines versus clumps with the breath ability and massive damage. Of course, keep it safe from being surrounded by high armor piercing and anti-large damage, as well as being targeted by range, and it should do great work. With the massive damage, it can also duel monsters, so as long as it's fighting something, it's going to be doing great work. We also have a couple more dragons. The Moon Dragon, which is a tier 3 unit, comes with the Moon Dragon's Breath ability, armor piercing damage, causing terror, and Scaly Skin. Pretty similar to the Sun Dragon, just a little bit slower, but with more damage, HP, and leadership. Use it exactly the same, and it'll just do better. And the Star Dragon, which has the Star Dragon's Breath ability. Again, basically the same as the Moon Dragon, just a little bit slower to get a little bit stronger in combat. Use it the same, it's just bigger and better. And our final unit is the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, our one and only piece of artillery. This is a tier 2 unit, has armor-piercing missiles and the multi-shot ammunition. This is a great mid-game artillery piece with 2 firing options for infantry and singular targets. Choose your ammo and fire it over a huge range for massive damage. Whatever you do, just keep it safe from being caught in combat, as it will go down in seconds, and is of course a huge waste of the damage potential with all that ammo. Make sure to switch ammo types for what you're fighting to make the most of that bonus damage, and you should do great. Now we come to the regiments for now. I'll call out each unit, what it's a unit of, and the differences between it and the base units. The Scions of Mathlan are a spearman unit and gain the Aura of Protection ability. The Pure Main Company are a White Lines of Crace unit and gain armor sundering attacks and the Guardian ability. The Keepers of the Flame are Phoenix Guard and gain magical attacks. The Talons of Torquelada are a light armor archers unit and gain missile strength, fire ammo, poison attacks, martial mastery and fire resistance.
Ready and able!
The Storm Riders are a Lord and Sea Guard unit and gain Fear, Vanguard deployments and can fire whilst moving. The Grey are a Shadow Warriors unit and gain the Loic Shroud ability and Snipe. The Everqueen's Court Guard are a Sisters of Avalon unit and gaining Courage and the Banner of Avalon. The Fireborn are Dragon Princes and gain fire attacks and lose 1 defense. The Heralds of the Wind are Illyrian Reaver bows and gain speed, defense and charge bonus. Raghar's Pride are a War Lines of Crace unit and gain the Mighty Roar ability. And the Omen of Azurian is an Arcane Phoenix and gains the Omen of Hope ability. The High Elves also have access to a lot of units that are only accessible in certain locations or while playing certain factions. The Dryads, Treekin and Treemen are only available to Alariel and are only recruited in Game Bell. Dryads are the exact same as the Wood Elves unit, they're a fine at less defensive front line, but I'd still stick with Spearmen for the High Elf playstyle. The Treekin work nicely as monsters to bolster the front lines since they're mid-game, and the Treeman is a great late-game monster to assist in the front lines. We also have all the units that are unlocked by the dungeons of Athel Tamara. The Sentinels of Astaril are very improved shielded Lord and Sea Guard. They gain more armor, range, missile strength, as well as armor-piercing shield breaker and imbued ammunition. The Spire Guard of Torre Vres are pretty much just vastly improved Lord and Sea Guard. They gain improvements to basically every stat aside from speed and charge bonus. The Athel Tamara Faith Bearers are basically a sword version of the Silver Guard with improved armor, attack and charge defense but reduced melee defense. The Skyhawks are a skirmishing missile unit with low range and passable melee stats even with their low defense. Use up all their ammo and then move them into melee to make the most of their attack and bonus versus infantry. And finally the Knights of Torqueval. These are a powerful flying cav with 4 Griffin Riders. They have excellent charge and mass and spectacular damage. Climb in versus pretty much anything and they'll slaughter. Just don't let them get bogged down since their defense is pretty poor and their hitbox is pretty thick. We have the Gate Guard, which are only on the garrisons of the gates of Ulthuan. These are slightly improved Lord and Sea Guard, making them slightly better across the board. The Hand of the Shadow Crown is the summonable hero in the Nagarith faction. This guy's basically Lithnar, but with worse attack and leadership. And finally we have Imric's Legendary Dragons. Ruwar, the Protector of Life, is an improved Forest Dragon from the Wood Elves. Gordinar, the Champion of the Flame, is an improved Sun Dragon. Lamaru, the Frozen Breath, is an improved Moon Dragon. Shakalot, the Calamity, is an improved Black Dragon from the Dark Elves. And Yumrath, the Eternal, is an improved Star Dragon. And finally we come to army compositions. In Warhammer 3, every unit has a tier from 1 to 3, and I'm going to use these tiers to make you armies for the early, mid and late games that are set for every single step of your campaign. First up, we have Tier 1. We're going to go with an Archmage of Shadows as our Lord, 8 Spearmen for the front lines, 8 Light Armor Archers, and 3 Illyrian Reavers. The Archmage of Shadows will need to get some levels under their belt before they become useful, so to start with, keep them safe in casting their meager spells whenever possible. The Spearmen will hold back pretty much anything in the early game, and keep them still so your other units can do all the damage. The Light Armor Archers will be the main damage dealer and pick apart most armies before they even get close, and the Reavers will be used to target enemy ranged units before coming back to do some cycle charging on anything left on front. In Tier 2, we still have our Archmage of Shadows. We're now picking up a Handmaiden of Everqueen. For the front lines, we're going to go with 6 White Lines of Krace. For the range, we're going to go with 6 Shielded Lord and Seaguard. We're going to go with 2 Great Eagles, 2 Silver Helms, and 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. The Archmage should be on a mount and have a few more spells under their belt, to be a lot more active in battles, though still avoiding combat. The Handmaidens are going to keep close to your ranged units, keep them as buffed as possible, and deal some decent damage themselves. The White Lines aren't the tankiest front line, but they will deal some great damage, and if you keep them supported, survive just fine. The Sea Guard will provide all the range support you need whilst keeping themselves safe from most forms of damage. The Great Eagles will go after the enemy ranged units to keep your army safe. The Silver Helms will help on the back lines before coming back to cycle charge the backs of the front lines, and the Eagle Claws will target large and infantry units with their different ammo types to take out whatever they need to. And finally we come to Tier 3. Still have the Archmage of Shadows, still have the Handmaiden of the Everqueen, but the front lines have now been upgraded to 6 Phoenix Guard. We've also got 6 Sisters of Avalon for our ranged. We can go with 2 Wall Lines of Krace, 2 Arcane Phoenixes, and 2 Star Dragons. The Archmage should now be on a dragon of their own and have their full spellbook to be a terror wherever you need them with casts and combat. The Handmaiden should be on a mount, so keep themselves safe whilst buffing your ranged troops and dealing some damage of their own. The Phoenix Guard will be a defensive front line to keep back pretty much anything whilst dealing with some massive damage of their own. The Sisters will deal the majority of the damage, so keep them alive at all costs, as they really are so damn strong. The Wall Lines will deal with enemy ranged and loot back to take out retreating units for good. The Phoenix will help with clumps with their ability, as well as taking on ranged troops in melee, and the Dragons will help the front lines with their breath abilities and massive melee power. And that's everything you need to know on how to play High Elves in battle. We've got the greenskins coming next, so subscribe if you want to see that. Hope to hit 50k by the end of the year, so I sure would appreciate the assistance. If you enjoyed this video and or found it useful, then consider dropping a like. If you really enjoy the content and want to support it directly, then consider becoming a member on YouTube or a patron on Patreon. Doing so gets you early insights into future content, increased voting power, discounts for merch, as well as shoutouts at the end of videos like Henry took with his sport at the Oxus tier. Thank you.
Hello. How are ya? Really rough night, huh?
Awaiting orders. Poet guides me.
You know, sometimes
Your orders.
I wish the chaos demons and the vampires didn't get banished, so that I can pick them off one by one to the last of them, instead of them expiring
Battle ready.
or being banished.
Eternal guard.
I'm surprised that these guys stayed. Only 23 of them remain.
Yours to command.
23 out of 100. Well, now I'm pretty surprised that Treekin and Dryads,
By Ephra.
they retreat. I didn't think that they retreat. I thought they'd fight to the last of them.
Moving swiftly.
To the last man. What the frick? Why is Vlad almost full health again? Man, I really hate vampires. I love my tree people. It's literally Plants vs Zombies.
Destroy their leader.
Grabe may... Oh, they're unbreakable.
Deepwood Mage.
I just found out right now.
Onward. Yes, quickly.
GG, we lost. I should have just auto-resolved this. Even my lord can retreat. I think there's still one. They got him. You know, I think most of the Genshin YouTubers are just freaking hyping. Yeah, I really wanna know how to... No, maybe I shouldn't like freaking listen to everything. Gotta develop my own also.
To strike your foe takes you. Itchy brushes ruining your makeup? Dream of pro-level perfection. Real Techniques brush set with ultra-soft fibers blends flawlessly. Lazada exclusive sale, authentic guaranteed. Tap to master your look.
How's the stream? Do you guys feel like it's laggy? Yeah, there's a breath of fresh air, you know, from laggy, or do you think the colors are not saturated enough?
Attack and a ton of armor piercing damage en masse. Ported. The white lines of Kracer next, and these...
There's... See, let's play Genshin. Instead of listening to other YouTubers, I think I'm gonna make my Kojosara damage oriented. And I think I'm gonna get some water in a bit. What else? Oh. Man, I'm really glad I got another battery. You know, someone in a group on social media actually tipped that, they posted that the price went down. So I looked, and yes. So, okay, to put this in perspective, so I think I got it for like 16k. Let's say 16k. And then after the price drop, it went back to like 20 something, 22, 25. Oh man. I'm very glad I took the chance. Because during the past month or so, I've been complaining. I was saying I should have got another one back when the price was like that. Last year, October, November. So yes, when the opportunity arrived, I got one. And I'm very glad. That's like, I don't know, the prices are freaking soaring, man. I'd say 200 US dollar save. Maybe not 200, like 160. And, so I don't know. Right now I'm thinking, am I gonna buy a cheap small fan for my window? No, definitely later. I gotta get some water. I'm gonna do it now. Take me back home. Meow meow. It's maxed out. Oh, I don't think this is working. She's not using any of these, so I'm not getting any benefit from having 4 of them. Although they are like 5-star items. Three-star item. Oh man, so much to do. I'm complaining about having so much to do, but maybe I should shift my perspective. At least I always have something to do. That's nice. I don't know what to grind for now. Oh. Artifacts again. Disiplina.
Is it this?
Or maybe this. Hey!
With Kinder Joy, find the Golden Batman and other exciting DC toys.
For 3 times stronger protection from intense tooth sensitivity, use Sensodyne Repair and Protect. Shop now.
I got you, boss.
Hello.
Hola.
How are you?
¿Cómo estás?
I'm fine.
Something's come up?
Estoy bien.
And you?
¿Y tú?
I am a little tired.
Estoy un poco cansado.
Do you speak Spanish?
¿Hablas español?
Yes, I speak Spanish.
Sí, hablo español.
Do you speak English?
¿Hablas inglés?
Yes, a little.
Sí, un poco.
Are you
Let's get it
here
on.
to play with
Sword
me?
comes shadow. What's your name?
Incoming.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
My name is Alex.
Mi nombre es
Cut
Alex.
to the chase.
Nice to meet you.
Mucho gusto.
One step back, 2 forward.
What are you doing?
Over here.
¿Qué estás haciendo?
Boba, get them. With sword comes shadow.
Nothing.
Speed of light.
Nada.
Let the suns shine.
Are you free?
¿Estás libre?
Yes, I'm free.
Sí, estoy libre.
What do you want to do?
¿Qué quieres hacer?
I'm hungry.
Tengo hambre.
Incoming. Hey!
I'm thirsty.
Tengo sed.
Dead meat!
Do you want to eat?
¿Quieres comer?
Look alive! Nowhere to hide.
¿Quieres comer?
Let's go eat.
Don't blink.
Vamos a comer.
Vamos a comer.
I swear, it's for
I have a
medical research.
reservation.
Tengo una reservación.
Tengo una reservación.
Please, sit down.
Get them!
Por favor,
To the
siéntate.
tape.
Siéntate.
Speed of light.
Do you want something to eat?
Blink.
¿Quieres algo de comer?
Nice and spicy.
Do you want something to drink?
¿Quieres algo de tomar?
Miau, miau, miau.
Buckle up.
What's there to eat?
Boba, get them.
¿Qué hay para comer?
Incoming.
I would like a pizza, please.
Quisiera una pizza, por favor.
Blink. Into the fire. Speed of light.
Do you like it?
¿Te gusta?
Let's see.
I like it.
Me gusta.
It's delicious.
Es delicioso.
Es delicioso.
Do you want some?
¿Quieres un poco?
Yes, please.
Sí, por favor.
No thanks.
Let's get it on.
No, gracias.
Thanks for the food.
Miau, 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 miau.
Gracias por la comida.
Gracias por la comida.
You're very kind.
Miau, 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 miau.
Kill. Nice and spicy. With sword comes shadow.
How much is that?
¿Cuánto cuesta eso?
Incoming. Gloves off.
It's cheap.
Es barato.
Hey, look alive.
It's expensive.
Let's see. You might
Es
be
caro.
a little bit. Don't blink. Nowhere to hide.
¿Cómo estuvo tu día?
Now you've got your tooth.
My day was good.
Mi día estuvo bien.
Know how to get incoming.
My day was bad.
Mi día estuvo mal.
Let's get it on.
Where are you
Don't
from?
blink.
¿De dónde eres?
Blink.
I'm from the United States.
Get them.
Soy de los Estados Unidos.
What city are you from?
¿De qué ciudad eres?
I'm from New York.
Soy de
You know, I did a lot of stretching the other day. And I think I gonna do it more often.
Nueva York.
How's your family?
¿Cómo está tu familia?
Don't blink.
Very good.
Muy bien.
Look alive.
Very bad.
Muy mal.
How many siblings do you have?
¿Cuántos hermanos y hermanas tienes?
I have 2 sisters.
Tengo 2 hermanas.
You asked for it.
What are you thinking about?
¿En qué estás pensando?
Get to the chase.
I have homework.
Incoming.
Tengo tarea.
Nice and spicy. Blink. I swear, it's for
Es fácil.
Nowhere to hide.
Meow, 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 meow. Saan na siya?
It's difficult.
So, difícil.
Es difícil.
You really know how to get me going.
¿Qué estudias?
I study French. Don't blink.
Soy estudiar francés. Soy estudiar francés.
Speed of light. Hey!
Estudio francés.
Estudio francés.
Don't blink.
What do you like to do in your free time?
¿Qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre?
I like to watch movies.
Me gusta ver películas.
Me gusta ver películas.
I like to travel.
Me gusta viajar.
What time is it?
¿Qué hora es?
It's 1:20.
Meow,
Es la
meow,
1:20.
I need to go to the airport.
Necesito ir al aeropuerto.
What's your phone number?
¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono?
Call me.
Llámame.
I'll call you.
Te llamaré.
See you later.
meow, 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 meow.
Hasta luego.
See you soon.
Hasta pronto.
Where is the exit?
¿Dónde está la salida?
Where are the taxis?
¿Dónde están los taxis?
To the airport, please.
Al aeropuerto, por favor.
Goodbye.
Adiós.
Good morning.
Buenos días.
Good afternoon.
Buenas tardes.
Good night.
Buenas noches.
What is your name?
¿Cuál es tu nombre?
What's your number?
¿Cuál es tu número?
What's your email?
¿Cuál es tu correo electrónico?
My name is.
Mi nombre es.
Nice to meet you.
Hi champs, Coach Miko here. Cooling down is equally important as warming up. Part ito na recovery. Kung ready na kayo mag-cool down, let's go! Simulan natin from bottom to top. Let's do ankle rotations first. Pag intense ang training, pwede magkaroon ng temporary tightness ang joints. Sa tulong ng ankle rotations, nalulubricate ang joints. Let's do 10 seconds per foot. Cooling down lowers your heart rate, releases tight joints and muscles para okay ka pag mag-ensayo bukas. Up next, let's stretch our groin. This brings length back to the muscle para kahit mag-overtime ang laro, hindi tense ang hips and groin. Sit on the ground. Bring the soles of your shoes together and gently push your knees down. Itong butterfly stretch opens the inner thighs and hips. Nararamdaman nyo ba ang stretch sa groin, champs? To go further, push your knees down. Dahan-dahan lang para mas maramdaman nyo ang stretch. Next up, we're going to stretch our hamstrings. After practice, ito ang isang parte na madalas mag-tighten. And reach for your toes without bending your knees. Let's do this.
You know, somehow last time I played Nook, I was actually doing well. So let's include that one. Meow meow.
什么声音？再说一遍。
喵喵。
没听见，再听一遍。
Straw.
What the fuck? Where from, bro?
Philippines. Buy me.
宝宝给我绿色，绿色，宝宝给我绿色。
Buy me a Big Mac.
我 杀管啊，你们去 B 吧。
Buy me a min map. Yeah, what happened? What the frick?
What the fuck? Mambo.
Mambo. Mambo. Oh, Matsuri Mambo. What the frick? Oh, Matsuri Mambo. 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 Sneaky Wiki, boo. Behind you! Bro!
Oi, oi.
What the frick? Yeah. Nice. Mambo, mambo.
管到出来了。
Matsuri mambo.
NT NT。
If I jump to there, will I take damage? Mambo, mambo. Keep quiet for a while. Oh no, maybe they're watching my screen. Maybe they're watching my stream. Mambo, mambo. What else? What other umamusam means that they know? What the frick? Take me back home. I forgot the name of the one with the white hair wearing red. Oh. I remember gold ship. Gold ship, gold ship, gold ship. Smoke. No smoke. Good job. Down on the inside. Mambo. Hachimi. Hachimi, 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 hachimi. Lingango, lingo, 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 wacha, lingango, lingango. I'm just very happy I remember this. Ouch. Saka na minus 10. A fake B. What the frick? Where?
Is for 10 seconds on each side. Let's get back on our feet and
Ew.
It's so nice to watch. It's like Lord of the Rings. Two towers. Nice. So good. Meow meow. It's like those tabletop games with the miniatures. What the freak? That's scared of me. Somehow I'm not doing well with the sniper right now. Meow meow meow. Hopper. Hello. Welcome back. I'm in the vent. Can you tell me where they are? Heaven. I thought there was a way here.
走铁板了，走铁板了。
Meow 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 meow.
Nice shot。
Meow meow.
啥 nice shot？
Meow
你
meow.
用杀没杀？你就做杀没杀？
Buy me a Big Mac for winning. Buy me a Big Mac. Freak. You know, I actually like to add onions to tomato ketchup or tomato sauce. No, when I bite into the onions, you know, the minced onions, not really minced, chopped. It kinda gives you that McDonald's cheeseburger taste. No, that's what I remember when I eat the cheeseburger or the double cheeseburger. And of course I don't really use pickles. I don't use pickles at home. There was a time though, 4 years ago maybe. Cucumber, that's what I used to pickle. Outside heaven. Yeah, I know. There was also a time when I minced fresh garlic and used to keep it in a jar, refrigerated, so that I can just take a spoon and cook some, every time I was gonna cook food. I was kinda chubby back in 2022. partly because, I almost used mayonnaise on everything. Mayonnaise and eggs. And also I was a freaking alcoholic. So I would drink genuine juice. That's why I was chubby back in 2022. And then that was the only year when I was chubby. 2022, and then 2023, that's when, I went back to being skinny. And actually, I only stopped smoking cigarettes in the very late 2020. And of course, I used to buy cigarettes. The store owner told me, they noticed that I'm not as skinny as before. When I stopped smoking. Nowadays, I wanna quit coffee, and I'm really having these. I'm having these intrusive thoughts of going back to vape. Zero nicotine vape. But I know that that's wrong. I shouldn't be putting anything but air into my lungs. So vaping, I wanna vape, not only to substitute for nicotine, for any craving really, sometimes I also drink. Sometimes I also get energy drinks, not only for the caffeine, but also for the taste. Man, and energy drinks taste like, cough syrup. Cough medicine. Cough medicine is freaking addictive. I know what people do in parties, Not only illegal substances, they also abuse that stuff. Cough syrup, Robitussin. In Filipino accent, it's Robitussin. If you're talking to a Filipino, Robitussin. It's not Robitussin. Alaksan. Alaksan. And I really didn't like. That's very hypocritical of me. I don't like club culture. I was very critical of club culture because if you know what I'm talking about, cocktail. I'm not talking about drinks. I'm talking, the the stuff they mix to make those pills. Yeah, back then, I kinda stuck with the, let's say, rockers instead of the clubbers. And we had a bad image about clubbers. We call them douchebags. We overgeneralize them. I'm saying we, but I don't really join in on the name calling. I don't join in on the name calling. But in my mind, I also had that stigma. And that's very hypocritical of me. Meanwhile, I abuse liquor and cigarettes. So, we're not very different. Different substances. Different genre of music we listen to. But same pattern. Same pattern, same behaviors. I hope I can finish my training real soon. I know I gave myself like a timeline, but as it turns out, I have a lot to learn, I have a lot to do, and I'm not gonna pretend that I'm doing it 24/7. And there's always room for improvement. But you know what? Damn. I'm already tempted to buy stuff. I'm already tempted to order stuff. Buy stuff that I want. Really want, but not really need. I kinda don't wanna play Dark Tide anymore. It's not a very good experience. Because my PC is struggling. Meow, 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 meow. Go, go, gaga. Go, go, go. Meow, meow. Seaside.
爱在家里。家里有一个。
Checking heaven. Heaven clear. Where are you going? Plant A, man. Come on, man. Frick. Good job. Dead on the inside. I haven't been playing Battlefield in a while. Deagle. Deagle. Oh, that's great. I hit two of them. You know, I can't really imagine like planting potatoes or sweet potatoes here at home, or even ginger. Although the quality of the soil here is not very good. No more nutrients. Oh, I remember back in high school, you know, I used to plant lettuce, tomatoes. Yeah, lettuce and tomatoes. And I would just make salad with it. Especially, I think third year or fourth year high school. Lettuce. No, just the simple potato salad. With sometimes just with ketchup. No, not really ketchup, tomato sauce. And boiled potato. What else did I put there? No, sometimes balsamic vinegar. What else? Sometimes Caesar salad. Oh, Caesar salad dressing. No, I used to buy ready-made Thousand Island. Yeah. I remember that time. I'm not really a freaking fitness advocate, you know, I don't really care. I'm not very knowledgeable. Behind. Oh yeah, and I used to make tea, you know, with tea bags. Milk tea. Back then, it wasn't very fancy. Yeah. There's the one Lipton milk tea. And I can't remember if Nestle also made that. You know, early 2010s until 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. Yeah, you know what? I was also miserable in high school. I didn't get bullied. Then I had a very negative outlook. And I have a very negative outlook. It's like all I see is negative. Even though a lot of people were kind to me. I think that carried over. That carried over to adulthood. No, I think, you know, like I said, I only stopped the you know, I only managed the crippling fear last year. Even up until 2024, it was very bad. I couldn't manage. It's great that I can manage now. Get out of my way, man. Frick.
City.
No.
Thanks, bro.
Good job. Oh, nice AK. I wonder what skin that is. That's nice. Did you get the offer? That's very nice. I think that would be effective. It's like Splinter camo. That's very nice. No, that's very Western European with olive furniture. Oh my god, G&G makes them more temptation as usual. Good job. There's one inside there. Still alive. Huh?
这有这个铁板。
喵喵喵。喵喵喵喵喵喵喵喵。喵喵喵喵喵。Which country adopted it? Was it Sweden or Norway? Sweden. That's very nice. Good job. I like them for Olo. Minus the dark colors. Where is he?
A.
Buy me a McDonald's.
Kopi.
Meow meow. You know, I already have the pilot cap, the pilot ka. I think it's Repro. East German. Go home, mommy, mommy, go home. It's basically a song telling Americans to go home. Left side. Can you speak English?
What's going on YouTube? This video we're going to be taking a look at East German rain camel. It's pretty plentiful here in the States, although over the past few years it seems to be drying up a little bit. It's getting harder and harder to find bigger sizes.
It just looks plain from afar. Chibi chibi chaba chaba. Now I'm very tempted to look at the community market. You know, maybe it doesn't cost that much. You know, maybe even pennies. Like in Philippine money. What the frick? Where's the market? Community market. CS. You know, 15. Yeah, I can definitely buy. But I don't wanna. Oh my. B.
Back.
Good job. Now I'm feeling tempted. They don't really show any use of it, no? I mean, not a lot of people like it.
Hola, PvP.
Okay, we're going B. Coming here. Frick.
Decoy. Bomb has been planted.
Sorry.
Close.
Oh, kinda want it. But you know, it's freaking purple, man.
Grab your gear, let's
I still like this one. This has been my go-to for her. And now ever since I got it. I wouldn't be surprised to know that, you know, I mean, to find out how long I've been using this skin. Because I love two-tone. I wonder if their new contractor. Nope. Nothing new. Sorry about that. Kinda also want that.
laying down
Oh no. It's already been like 2 hours since I started streaming. The frick? You have a grenade, bro. You're out of ammo. Damn, I kinda want this. Although I already have the polymag. I already have this one. You know, this stock just looks bizarre. It's an LMT stock, but with the VL Tor style of the zigzag. What do you call that? And then the LE Lima Echo style of the like those vent looking slots. They just added that for style, for texture. But that makes it unrealistic. Yeah, man. I mean, I got stuff to do later. I gotta study for my job. You know, we don't really have like training. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can consider it training, whatever. But yeah, I gotta do stuff. Maybe that's why. That's why I wanna play some more, because I gotta do work stuff after. Is it B? Can you confirm? Good job. Doesn't penetrate. Man, adulting sucks, man. And for this year, I'm subject to the usual tax. Frick. maybe next year, right? If I'm still like tutoring, I can. But this is common knowledge, maybe I can apply for the 5% tax instead of the 10%. Sometimes I do it on stream, I would like compute the projected earnings. I've never factored in tax. Freaking hell. So, adulting sucks. Oh, you haven't diffused. Oh my. Come on, man. Good job. Adulting sucks, man. Freak. Go. No, that's why I VTube. That's why I VTube. Go gaga. Go gaga. Lol. What the frick? I think they're tilted. Meow meow. Bye bye. I know why Americans like my stream. It's because I complain a lot. You guys like to complain as well. Shit. Shit. I think I'm gonna get, I think I really need to, like, buy collared shirts, when I worked at, the call centers, I actually dressed up in, like, sweatshirts and, long sleeve t-shirts with a round neck. I actually look like a Filipino construction worker when I went to the office. That serves two purposes. One, it's cold in the office, so I needed long sleeves, preferably thick ones. And then second, when I go home on my bike, it's pretty sunny, so I need protection from the sun. Oh, back in 2024, I actually wore flannels. I had two flannels. But I'm gonna be working from home, and it's pretty hot in here. And with the current job, I really can't afford air conditioning. Shit. I look at other people and I wonder how they can afford to run air conditioning. I've been seeing more GE 100. Hmm, 9 years ago. It's pretty old. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the wilderness. I would have stayed up the whole night had I known how. Sorry, to save a life. Had I known how to save a life.
Ang Bear Brand Adult Plus may adult tibay na
88 different effects. 66 different effects, I'm sorry. You can have up to 8 in a row. You've got 80 presets, you've got 80 factory presets, and it's got a whole heap of drives and modulations, reverbs, delays, wahs, volume pedals, all sorts of cool fun. This is a Music Man Axis Super Sport. As you can see, I am running it into an Achilles Vibrolux Reverb, and it sounds like this. Clean. This is my clean patch user 01. I've called it clean. Now, I've written a few patches because I wasn't entirely happy with the patches that came with it, so as usual I've gone and written my own. Here's my first patch. I call it Dave and Drive. It's a bit of like a Gilmore patch. Here's another one with a bit of fuzz and auto wire on it. Here's yet another one with some tremolo.
I got kicked for hyping. It's amazing how cheap things are compared to, when I was starting or when I was younger, 2010s.
So you can see it's capable of all sorts of stuff. I'm going to go back to Dave and Drive and just go through each of the components inside. And how great is this LED? I mean, it's not often you see an LED that's that visible. So let's have a look. Let's analyse what makes up this sound. First of all, we've got two knobs up here, mode and value. And mode lets me switch through to the first effects block mode. And the first effects block I've got here is a compressor, which, as you can see, is switched off. I can switch it on like that, or off. I'll keep it off. The second block is the distortion mode, and I've chosen a tube driver because I like the tube driver, and you often hear about that being used in Gilmore's rigs. But if I just click this little value knob over here, I can choose tube driver or juicer drive or vintage OD or super drive, and they all have different sound.
Damn, does she have the drive all the way up?
And obviously are associated with well-known pedals. Let's move out of the distortion block into the amp block. Now there are several amp emulators. If you choose to run this gizmo direct into, say, a house system, you've got like F-Clean, which obviously stands for Fender Clean. We can choose, excuse me,
I don't think it offers the functionality that I'm looking for.
Just click that again. Jazz Clean, so like a jazz chorus, a bass.
I think I'll stay with the Zoom G1X4.
A British 30 watt amp, we know what that's going to be, etc, etc. It is off. I'm going to leave it off because I'm already running into an amp. We'll move across.
I'm guessing that's a Marshall.
You've got a noise gate. I've got a little bit of noise gate threshold at 21 there. An EQ, a general EQ, 3-band EQ. It's off at the moment. Modulation, now there's a heap of different modulators. Phaser is one of them. But of course there are others. Step phaser.
What are you doing, Step Phaser? Step Phaser, I'm stuck.
Let's say I want...
Man, yes, I like those those kinds of jokes. If you told me those kinds of jokes in real life, man, I'm gonna laugh.
I want that step phaser to be a little faster. All I've got to do is hit this value knob until it gets to the speed knob and just speed it up. So now I'm in kind of zapperish territory. don't want it on, I just switch it off. I move to the next block, I've got delays. There are 4 or 5 excellent delays for this Gilmore patch. I'm running the tape echo delay across again to the reverb block. Well, I've got a plate delay. If I didn't want the plate delay, I just changed the type, modulator delay, spring reverb, tremolo reverb, room reverb, hall reverb, church reverb. They're all of the favourite food groups are there, and they all sound pretty damn good.
You know, I don't really like to use phasers and reverbs because I want people to be able to hear my individual notes. And I want to give the, garage or home vibe. To make it like more relatable. Not like those freaking big musicians.
Then we get into the drums, and we've got a little rhythm switch here which I can hit and it will go.
Where did I go wrong? I lost.
Hitting the value knob will take me into how much volume, how fast I want it to be, and the type of beat. And how many beats are there? Well, I think there are about... ...40 beats, all the way up to tango. Too much fun. We don't want drums. We move across to the next block and we're in system settings, which is the basic output volume, the output where we want the pedal to be, that's how you calibrate the pedal, and so on and so forth, all of the general system settings. So really, it's a very fully featured little unit. And to go back to our presets, we just put it back to PL here, and I can go back to clean. By default, the pedal is a volume pedal. But I can hit the pedal knob here and I can actually elect to make a wah pedal or an octave up pedal or a modulation pedal, octave down or reverb pedal, whatever takes my fancy. One more thing that we need to have a look at here. Actually, there's 2 more things. It's got a looper, a 180-second looper. So let's make
nice.
A little loop.
George of the jungle, George of the jungle, George. Oh, frick, no. Man, the music fits the game, bro.
Cool? Very cool. Turn loop off just by hitting the loop button. Lesson button. Inside there are lessons on all sorts of scales and modes and tonics. Now I have no theory, so I don't really know much about that stuff. But if you want to, it's all there. It doesn't actually do anything or play anything. It just gives you a readout of what modes are what and what scales go with which modes in which keys, etc, etc. That means it represents pretty damn good value for money, and if you're looking for a grab-and-go situation that costs you under $200 with 66 different effects and 80 presets, you better have a look at this, the Mua GE 100, and I'm just going to go back to my Dave and Drive, hit a bit of rhythm and jam out. See you later.
Lahat tayo may sariling sabi-sabi.
Huwag kumain na nakatayo.
That other guy looked like Matthew Bellamy.
2, 3, 4. Greetings, I'm Rob Chappard. And this is sound like dime bag for over £100. It should be though.
This is okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little review of a pedal called a Moore GE100, and this is a kind of a combination review. It's a sort of review of the Moore 100, but it's also some advice for any of you guys out there that have maybe just started playing the guitar for a few months, whatever. So we've got an entry-level guitar like the Pacifica.
£195.
Yeah, we could have chosen a Squire or a cheap Epiphone or a cheap Ibanez or whatever like that. So imagine you've got an entry-level guitar and you've got an entry-level guitar amp. So this is a little orange Crush amplifier. And you're limited at the moment to like a couple of sounds. You've got like a clean sound and a distortion sound in your amplifier. And you're kind of going, a bit bored of all this now. You know, how do I get to sound like my favourite guitar players? And I don't have like £500 or £1,000 to go and start buying tons of pedals. What you could do is dive out and buy something like the Moore GE100, and there are similar products by companies like Zoom and stuff, but we're going to focus on the Moore. Actually, to be totally fair to Moore, it's got a ton of stuff in it that you don't get on some of the pedal boards by Betton.
First thing to say, reality check. This is a sub £100 multi-effects unit.
Oh yeah.
Some of you guitar players are going to say, sub £100, made of fairly cheap materials.
It is plasticky, yeah.
Far Eastern manufactured.
And metal.
I mean, my Zoom G1X4 is plastic. I know. Okay, so... Oh.
Affordable. It's probably going to sound bad. But here's the thing. There are some little gems hidden inside here.
I don't know. Well,
sometimes some affordable things can have a little couple of surprises up their sleeves.
I think the whole point of this thing is to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. So it's going to do everything.
Maybe with a surprising master.
Maybe. But so look, G100. So the concept of the Moore, and let's focus really on the Moore rather than anything else, is to have tons of different pedals inside it. So it's got distortions and reverbs and choruses and delays, and I mean, you name it, it's got it. Wah-wahs, all this kind of stuff here. Wah-wahs. It's got a little drum machine in there. Rock and roll, classic rock, slow rock, rock shuffle. Rock and roll, classic rock, slow rock, rock shuffle. Rock. Slow rock shuffle. Shuffle. Rock and roll. So rather than jamming along to a metronome or something like that.
But actually the drum machine sounds alright, doesn't it?
It's got a looper, so if you want to just loop your own kind of stuff in there. And it's got this crazy thing, which I've never even seen before, called lessons. Although in all fairness, I'm probably going to gloss over the lessons because it's not an interactive thing. It's got like a chord bank and a scale bank in there. So you can kind of press the lesson thing and you can find various chords and scales, and it tells you on the screen what the scale is and what the chord is. And you go, oh, that's kind of handy. But it doesn't interact with you in any
What's
way.
a G-Num?
Doesn't start talking to you or anything.
No, it doesn't talk to you. So look, what we'll do is there's hundreds of presets. The whole point is that you choose effects that you like and build them up and program them to get sounds that you like. We're just using the presets at the moment.
You could gig it, you could take it, stick it, whack it through a PA.
Yeah.
You could gig it, then you can stick it through affordable amplifiers.
The buttons on the front I can just go up and down through the presets, so you can see what's happening here, and then the screen shows you, what kind of a sound you're going to get. Or you can use this value button here to do that. Or the buttons, if you're in loop mode, the buttons do the sort of the play, record and stop, delete sort of functions. You can plug a pair of headphones in if you don't want to plug into an amp, just use this for silent practice. And you can plug your MP3 player in here to sort of jam along with your tracks through your headphones as well if you want. So look, let's get some tones. We're just going to start going through some of these effects. I'm going to skip out the ones that I kind of think sound a bit weird and stuff, and I'm just going to stay with the ones that I like the basic patches of. So let's start off with everybody's favourite kind of multi-effects tone, which is sort of modern metal kind of tone. So take it away, chappers.
That was awesome! Little Muawa.
We got whammies, look.
That was great! Do that some more.
Telephone ring modulation.
So look, you could literally go on, there's hundreds of these in here to play around with. I'm just going to give you a real quick run through of like what's sitting behind all these presets. So if you, if I start to adjust the mode button here, you'll see the orange titles across the top, sort of scroll along, and you'll see within each of these banks that I have got tons and tons of different effects that I can add in, different reverbs, different distortions. You get the general idea. So the whole point is that I can basically choose any of those, adjust a few basic parameters of each one, and then go back to my basic sound. You can see how you can go through them like that.
So the functionality is really simple.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you want to save those, you can give it a new name or whatever and save it. So one of the other kind of fun things on here is that it's got a built-in drum machine.
It can be your friends.
Yeah, if I basically scroll along to this thing, RS Rhythm Select, you can see that I've got some different drum beats. So as I press rhythm, well, let's press it. And I can adjust the BPM, so you want that a bit. And there are loads and loads of different kind of beats in here, including a metronome if you want them to be. And you can adjust the volume of the drum beat so that it can be louder or quieter in the mix if you want it to be. So that's kind of cool. I might even find you another one because I know you enjoy that.
That was fun.
And I actually thought the drum sound okay.
They sound alright. You know what? For under how much is it?
99, 95, something like that.
It's a piece of fun, man. There's a lot of fun stuff going on.
I mean, when you think about the average price of any of these pedals individually, you know, it very quickly becomes insane.
I just have a soft spot for affordable stuff that's just fun and loads of sounds.
Yeah.
And ideas.
And you've got to remember about whenabouts in your guitar playing journey.
What, bro? You what, mate? What were you saying? Oopsie whoopsie, oh well. Yeah. Nico. No, why didn't they move me? What the frick? Come on. Hey, still hit. That's nice. Huh?
Despacito, блядь.
Roski?
I can.
Meow. Got him. Tank destroyed. Got him. Headshot. Meow.
Вражеский вертолет видел.
What am I looking at? Is that a person? Got him.
Anyone got video of the enemy AA?
Huh? Enemy AA? Meow. Oh, it's hitting the ground. Frick. No, sometimes the mechanics are wrong. Freaking hell. My gun was on a bipod. It can't hit the ground in front of me. You can't park there, sir. What the frick? How come I couldn't see them? Oh wow, I think we're winning now. Oh, they got the high Mars. I'm gonna hunt the high Mars. Where is it? Where is it? Oh man. Hit. Booyah, 30 damage. What the frick? I got ran over. I wonder if they knew that I was there. So that's a cool mechanic, you know. Instead of just 21 damage, it was 30 damage for hitting the top of the tank. Due to assisted target lock. Anyway, I've been playing for 3 hours now, and yeah, I don't want to be a bad influence, so let's go ahead and end the stream. Anyway, thank you guys for dropping by. Take care. Bye bye.